Hello, I'm Morris Geverts with That's How We Learn. Today I want to share with you a little project I have made, a little project I've done with some of my students. I have a number of students. I give them classes on a one-to-one or one-to-two basis, 2 or 3 students at a time. And for the younger students or adult students, depending on what you have and how cool they are, you can create a little storybook. You can write little books with your students. Here's 2 examples. Here in this book with very dark red lettering, you can see it's called The Japanese Attack. This is the work of an 8-year-old Turkish student. Well, he is Turkish and is learning English. And you can see he's written this book like this. Here are helicopters. Those are some pretty good drawings of helicopters. And here we have how the 687,342,996 men died. The boy, his English is quite good. He wrote this mostly by himself. You can see the helicopters are a little bit more sophisticated, even though they are twins. These are twin brothers. There's a lot of blood in this scene, blood and fire. I don't know. Anyway, this book is about terrorists and police dying. This is about the Japanese attacking and the British and the Turks defending. As you can see, the British flag, Turkish flag, Japanese flag. At any rate, what's the point of this activity? The point of this activity is to help people practice English. It is the best part of this activity is at the end of the day, when it's done, you have something you can show the paying customer, the parents, or the student himself. So how do you do this? Well, first, when you walk into class, you show them how to create the book. And that involves you folding a piece of paper once like this, once like this, and then you fold the paper like this. And what does that create? That creates this line, which you then cut with your X-Acto blade like this. Like this. Well, I've already cut this one, obviously. So you cut it, and then you pick up your book like this, and you fold it. Oops, where is page 1? Here it is. And you folded it. This is the cover. This is the back. And as you can see, I've already numbered it. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, and the back 8. So, once you've shown them what you're going to be doing, an adult could do maybe a city guide or a guide to the bars of the city. It doesn't really matter, with an explanation of why it's good in 1 or 2 sentences. What you do is then you take a piece of paper and you number it for the student. Title page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you can see, I've done that here. And then with the student, depending on how much help they need from you, you write down 1 or 2 sentences per page. If it's a child, here the first sentence is, one day the Japanese attacked Britain and Turkey. Britain and Turkey formed an alliance. And so he learned the word alliance and the verb to form an alliance. If it's an adult, you could do something like, like I said, a guide to the best museums in the city. It doesn't really matter. The best museum in Istanbul is the blah 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 museum found in the blah 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 district. And then once you've written this cleanly, depending on the skill level of the student, either they produce this themselves or you give them a blank piece of paper of any color of your choice and they produce it. You can also use bigger pieces of paper to produce bigger books. Then, the student just does what they do and you provide help and support. In this case, what I did was I took a ruler and I drew a line here so the student knows where to write text and where to draw. So, at the end of the day, after your 40-minute or 50-minute or hour class or whatever, you have a finished little book which they can show. Again, it's very important when teaching language classes, especially as freelance, to have something to show for your hard work. At least that's true here in Turkey. You got to convince your customers that their money is being well spent. So at the end of the day, here are your books. And you've practiced some English, you've learned some words, you had some fun, and you invested energy up front. They produce something. Everyone goes home happy, as do you. Okay, thank you very much. Until next time, I'm Morris Gevertz with That's How We Learn.